Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health TV and radio show. I'm your host, Sara Banta. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, and a busy mom of 3. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you're notified every week with my new podcasts on Mondays and Tuesdays. And if you haven't already, join my free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health. And you will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey, in addition to truly taking control of your health. The protocols and supplements I discuss are all found at sarabantahealth.com. So today we're talking about a topic that affects everybody. It's like food. We have to sleep, right? No one can get away with not sleeping. And I'm not just talking about those suffering from insomnia, but what if you're just getting, 5 or 6 hours of sleep? We need sleep, and no one is excluded in that group. You don't need to see the statistics to know that insomnia is an epidemic. And over the last few years, the number of people suffering from insomnia has increased significantly, along with the amount of people suffering from anxiety and depression. And when people ask me about diet, exercise, supplements for their health, I tell them none of it matters if you're not sleeping, right? So sleep is the most important activity for our bodies, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And good sleep has been proven to help with memory, regulate cortisol and stress, improve metabolism, improve mental function. And I know personally, when I don't sleep well, I'm anxious, emotional, and I can actually feel my metabolism slow down. I actually feel my ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, increase. And so I'm hungrier during the day. It's not just in my mind and a willpower thing. It's actually a response to not sleeping well. So let's go through the side effects of poor sleep. One effect, as I mentioned, is weight gain. And so many people are saying it doesn't make sense. I'm gaining all of this weight and I'm not doing anything different. It's a vicious cycle where stress levels cause insomnia and the lack of sleep causes stress. And that cycle wreaks havoc on all of our hormones, including testosterone, cortisol, estrogen, progesterone, and the most important, insulin. And insulin is that fat-storing hormone. It affects your hormones. It affects your blood sugar without taking into account what you're eating during the day. So literally, you could be eating nothing and gain weight. It really doesn't matter what you're eating, taking for supplements, or doing exercise if you're not sleeping. The most common side effects of poor sleep: weight gain, brain fog, accelerated aging, disrupted hormones, fatigue, of course, depression and anxiety, increased appetite, insulin resistance. So we call this the dirty cupcake, where you are not sleeping, increasing your cortisol and epinephrine, and those are fat storing hormones. So you're gaining weight even without eating anything good. So wouldn't you rather just sleep and have the cupcake and then gain the weight the right way, right? So it is affecting your insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is affecting 90% of you. The statistics are now that 90% of you, 90% of adults in the United States are insulin resistant, pre-diabetic, or diabetic. That is a scary statistic. And insulin resistance and toxicity are the two things that are accelerated aging and causing the metabolic diseases that we are suffering from. So something to think about when it comes to your sleep. A lack of sleep also causes inflammation, low testosterone, low growth hormone. Growth hormone happens when you are sleeping. It causes an inability to lose body fat. It increases the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's, increases the risk of accidents, lowers performance at work and school, slower reaction time while you're driving, increased risk of substance abuse. Why? Well, when you're tired and you're not sleeping, what are you going to do? You reach for the caffeine in the morning, and then you reach for the alcohol or the drugs at night, or the stimulant drugs to increase your energy during the day. That's going to just tap into your adrenals, cause more adrenal fatigue, and it's this vicious cycle. And then you also have a higher risk of heart attack, stroke, hypertension, increased risk of diabetes, of course, because that goes along with the insulin resistance, and obesity. And then, of course, affecting your hormones is also going to affect your fertility. And did you know PCOS, which is the number one cause of infertility for women, is directly related to insulin resistance, which is caused or partially caused by a lack of sleep. So all of these things are connected. And then you're also going to have a weakened immune system. So when you're not sleeping, most people, and I have family members that do it, reach for the sleep aids because they think they work, right? They reach for the prescription drugs like Ambien, Lunesta, Xanax, even just Tylenol PM. The typical sleep aids are not only addictive, but they don't deliver restorative sleep. And studies are showing that they only increase natural sleep by 8 minutes. 8 minutes. And instead, they produce this type of sleep amnesia, and you forget that you had a bad night of sleep. I can talk about my dad because he doesn't necessarily watch these, but he has a sleep issue, right? And he takes Tylenol PM or Benadryl, or I don't know what the drug of choice is now, but he reaches for these things. And the conversation in the morning is always, well, how'd you sleep? And sometimes he'll say, I actually got 7 hours. But the problem is he doesn't realize that the 7 hours are not true 7 hours, and he's not getting into that deep sleep. Personally, I use the Aura Ring. There are a lot of sleep trackers out there to tell me what type of sleep I'm getting. I'm getting, in whether it's REM sleep, light sleep, or deep sleep. Personally, I am in the 90s. I am above 94, 95, and typically 97 to 99 according to my Aura Ring. Even Aura Ring was shocked to see a 99 on my sleep score the other day. So I am walking the walk, and my protocol works. And this is coming from someone who had sleep scores in the 80s, not necessarily ever in the 60s or 70s. I've always been in the 80s, but 80s are not good enough. I needed to get it up. And so I walk the walk, and all that I'm going to be talking about is what I do to make sure that I strategically am getting above a 95 every night, regardless of stress, regardless of what's going on in my personal life, my business life, you name it. And I've got a lot on my plate, a lot of factors that I'm working around. 3 kids, any mom out there knows what is involved with that. Being married, having a husband, being a perfect wife, being a business owner, managing people, all of these things I've got to manage on a daily basis. So when I put my head on that pillow, I need to know that my body can shut down. I need to know that my brain's going to shut off, that I'm going to actually have restorative sleep and get all of the immune boosting, recharge, growth hormone benefits, stabilizing my blood sugar. All of these things need to happen during those 8 to 9 hours. And yes, I go after 8 to 9 hours, and I prioritize my sleep. So what are the top 10 reasons that you can't sleep? Number 1, stress, of course, right? And we're all under stress. I am too. Due to isolation, yes, we're out of the mandatory isolation, but I think some of us have gotten used to being hermits in our homes or not out as much. That is a new reality. What comes with this isolation? Addictive behaviors. We've got porn, gambling, the kitchen that is right outside the door with all the food, the alcohol. It's accessible all day long. This was not the case before. We've got possible financial strains with the stock market. We've got health stress. If you are one of that 90% that have insulin resistance, you also have inflammatory markers throughout your body, chronic, other chronic disease, heart issues, brain fog, fatigue, things like that that you didn't have before. The addictions to these free and accessible behaviors like social media, food, pornography, gambling, sex, all have lowered our dopamine, which then leads to depression. And then that leads to an increase in perceived stress. So even on top of what you are stressed with, your perceived stress is even higher, taking your stress level even higher. And the level of financial stress and chronic health conditions are higher than ever before, leading to this feeling of helplessness and increased stress. Things are out of our control. Really, things are always out of our control, but now we feel like they are out of our control even more. And all of these factors compound on top of each other, leading even worse sleep. And when the body's stressed, cortisol production increases. That's your stress hormone, from the blood sugar to spike and then drop. Restless sleep is one of the adrenal burnout symptoms. And as your body can't stabilize that blood sugar, it wakes you up. So as we're stressed, the adrenals are overworking. The adrenals sit on top of the kidneys. The kidneys get inflamed. They can actually cause back pain. So if you wake up in the morning and you're not really peeing as much as you think you are, but you've got back pain, that's your kidneys saying, I have fear. Fear is held in my kidneys. That fear is causing the adrenals to swell, inflame, retain water. That's holding up your adrenals that are overproducing the cortisol and the epinephrine, the stress hormones. If you're over 45 and you're in perimenopause or menopause, then the ovaries have died and your adrenals have started to overtake the production of your sex hormones, the testosterone and your female hormones, estrogen and progesterone. So they're working even harder. And then they've got that excess stress. Your adrenals are being tapped out. They say, I quit. And then this is going to cause a roller coaster of your blood sugar away from what you're eating. And that blood sugar roller coaster is going to wake you up. So that's number one. Number two, stimulants, the coffee, tea, chocolate, they're all stimulants that affect everybody differently. And they can increase cortisol, the stress hormone, which will disrupt your sleep. I'm not against these things, but you might have a genetic predisposition where you can't clear those stimulants as well as someone else. So if you're not sleeping, I would recommend cutting these things out or seeing if you can at least consume them before 12 p.m. So before noon. Overtraining. So a lot of you athletes out there, one sign of overtraining is if you lay down at night and you can hear your heart pulse beating, especially if you work out too close to bedtime. Exercise improves sleeps, but overtraining can disrupt it, and incorporating walking at dusk will not only settle down your nervous system and help you get into that parasympathetic relaxed mode, but it will also set a natural circadian rhythm and stabilize the blood sugar, which is one cause of not sleeping or disrupted sleep at night. So I like to do my workouts in the morning, fasted. I take my supplements. I have my tea or coffee. I work out, which is a great way to get the blood sugar and blood glucose that's stored in my body utilized, kick me into a high level of ketosis, and it gives me stable energy. But what also does is, as I'm in the morning looking at the sun, going for a short jog before my strength training, I'm setting that natural circadian rhythm for that night. Okay, that the light is really important, but the overtraining is something to think about. Number 4, exposure to Wi-Fi and technology. Personally, I've been on my computer for 2 hours already, and I can feel it in my veins. I literally am shaking. And after this, I will be going for a walk, getting away from technology, getting off my phone, because when your body's exposed to the frequency of Wi-Fi, also known as EMFs or electromagnetic fields, your brain is trying to sync up with that frequency coming from your device, in addition to the stressful response of the blue light emitted from the technology. It's not a relaxed frequency level, especially if the body's exposed to the EMFs for hours during the day. And then the blue light effects on sleep is detrimental. It disrupts the production of serotonin, melatonin, especially your sleep hormone. And when you keep Wi-Fi on during sleep, or sleep with your cell phone next to your bed, the negative effects on sleep increase significantly. So get that phone out of your room, turn it off, put it on airplane mode, shut off your Wi-Fi at night. So many things that are easy to do. Okay, so that is a really important one. Number 5, low potassium. So insomnia is one of the side effects of low potassium, and potassium, like all of the important electrolytes, acts as a tranquilizer. It calms down the nervous system. It works in conjunction with sodium and magnesium also is really important. This can cause your pulse rate to increase at night. So if you're feeling that heart rate, it could be the low potassium. It was always at night that my son's heart would actually stop. And this was during high school, when he was overtraining in rowing 3 to 4 hours a day. He was eating well, doing his supplements, but obviously not enough electrolytes. And he would have to hit his heart to get it started again. His issue was a lack of potassium. So we really had to hydrate him with intracellular hydration, with the electrolytes to get into the cells that help with the sodium potassium pump. So low potassium could be a cause of your insomnia. Number 6, eating carbs too close at bedtime. People reach for carbs because initially they help you relax and fall asleep. But eating too many carbs from refined sugar at night raises blood sugar and makes the body feel satisfied temporarily. But then the insulin is increased, and it's released out of the pancreas, pulls that sugar out of the blood into the cell, stores it as fat. 2 to 3 hours after consuming the carbs, what happens? The blood sugar drops too low and can wake the body up in the middle of the night. A blood sugar crash alerts the adrenals that there's an emergency. So as the body secretes cortisol, the stress hormone, there's this cascade. And when this happens frequently, the adrenals become exhausted, leading to adrenal fatigue, inflammation throughout the body, and a weakened digestive system. Blood sugar instability is the number one cause of insomnia and the number one cause of insulin resistance. See how all these things are connected? This can also lead to binge eating at night, and even people waking up and not knowing that they're eating during their sleep. Furthermore, consuming drinks and foods that are too acidic, too close to bedtime, can increase your pulse rate and keep you awake. So this pulse rate, what is this? This is a sign. If you're too acidic, it's pulling out the alkaline minerals, the potassium, magnesium, the calcium, and causing acidity in the body. So the best foods, and these acidic foods include sugar, alcohol, unfortunately. So when you drink your alcohol, You might think you're getting good sleep, but it's that sleep insomnia. It's not good quality sleep. So the sugar, the alcohol, and the carbs are all acidic. The best foods to eat at night are low in carbohydrates and high protein and fat, like a spoonful of guacamole, a hard-boiled egg, a few bites of wild animal protein. That's my favorite. That keeps your blood sugar stable. The best thing to do is to have a hot cup of relaxing tea, like chamomile. A lot of those different teas, they're usually named organic sleep tea or something easy. You don't have to know what herbs to go after, but they suppress hunger. Abstain from eating 3 hours before bedtime and get the body out of that stressed or sympathetic state. Number 7, eating too much fat close to bedtime. A lot of people on the ketogenic diet are saying, well, I can eat as much fat as I want. And that guacamole that you just mentioned, Sarah, that's great. However, too much fat can irritate the gallbladder and digestion as you're trying to go to bed. And a lot of people, because of the spike protein, because of the backed up liver, because of the excess estrogens in our diet and our environment, our livers aren't functioning and they cannot metabolize fat as well as they used to. So that fat can irritate the gallbladder. And what does that do? Then you get nauseous. And many people on the ketogenic diet think they can eat all this fat. And regardless of what you're eating too close to bedtime can disrupt the sleep, but that fat can make you nauseous. It can put that weight on your heart as you're maybe sleeping on your side. We'll get into that in a minute. But that disruption, that nausea, not feeling good from eating too much fat is going to cause an issue. Sometimes if I eat too much fat at night, in the morning, I can actually taste the meal from the night before. That's a sign that fat did not get digested all the way, and my body is needing something to help with the digestion. Number 8, light. I mentioned this a little bit, but sleeping with lights on or having the room too light at bedtime can disrupt sleep. Darkness induces that melatonin in the body to be released. Without it being dark, this mechanism doesn't work. It's the same reason that upon waking and looking at the morning sun triggers this natural circadian rhythm and triggers cortisol and serotonin to be released. We like cortisol in the morning. It wakes you up. It tells your body, okay, it's time to go. Let's go do something. And as a result, energy will increase during the day and cause sleepiness at night. So at night during, I tend to sometimes go to bed at a different time than my kids and my husband. And they can sometimes come into my room, play around with the blinds or whatever. So what I've done to ensure that I am not getting light into my eyes is I'm wearing a sleep mask now, and it has been a game changer. So regardless of the blinds, regardless of what other people are doing in my house, I am in dark once I put that sleep mask on. It's also this nice signal to my body saying, okay, Sarah, it's time. We're focused on sleep. And when I get up to go to the bathroom at night, I'm now not turning on any lights, and I'm just knowing where to go to the bathroom and get right back in bed without turning on the lights. Number 9, bloat. There's nothing worse than trying to fall asleep when you're bloated or full. So there are many causes of bloat, and I get into these on sarabantahealth.com. The wrong food combining, you're eating the wrong vegetables, you're eating too much fat. All of these things I go into on how to heal that gut. The lean body gut protocol is something to search up if you are going to bed bloated and that's causing your insomnia. Number 10, your bladder, of course. Waking up at night to go to the bathroom is probably due to insulin resistance. People with insulin resistance or diabetes tend to drink more than normal. And then, of course, they need to urinate during the night. Okay, so how do we increase or improve our sleep? My top ways, and I do all of these, and my score is above a 95 every day. I had a 98 this morning. There was no question as I was prepping for doing this talk. I'm like, there you go, 98 score on a Sunday night before my week starting on a Monday. So number one, increase your electrolytes by taking Olaloa, Quintessential. This is the Quintessential. These packets are really easy just to pour in your mouth on a daily basis. And the accelerated ancient salt. I keep my salt in a little tin right here. It's always with me. And why is it so good? You need that potassium and magnesium and other essential electrolytes in addition to the vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that help balance your nutrition and lower your pulse rate so you can sleep. And you can also increase your potassium and magnesium intake through the right vegetables, not the sulfur and the ones with sulfur and oxalates, but you can also get them from the wild animal proteins. In addition to calming down your nervous system, magnesium helps with maintaining GABA, the neurotransmitter responsible for turning off your alertness that prevents you from falling asleep. It can also help increase that dopamine, leading to an increase in mood. So I use the accelerated salt, the Quintessential, the Wild Lights. Here's the Wild Lights. You can drink this all day long in your sports drink during your workout, doing your Quintessential right before your workout, also at nighttime with right before bed. Helps stabilize, and it helps with intracellular hydration. Extracellular hydration is the inflammation, the puffiness, the wrong type of bloat. Intracellular hydration is giving your cells the right minerals in the cells that it needs to function, to have energy during the day and sleep properly at night. Next, accelerated keto. Why? Well, you're taking this through the day. What does it do? It helps keep lowers your insulin resistance, lowers your blood sugar, and cleanses the liver on a daily basis. All three of these factors improve sleep. So by following a low carb diet, prioritizing wild animal protein, you're stabilizing your blood sugar over all 24 hours. And furthermore, accelerated keto, and here you go, gives you that stable, non-jittery energy throughout the day. So you abstain from an afternoon stimulant. Most people are reaching for that iced coffee or the monster drink. You don't need it because you have this stable energy and it's not jittery, and you will not need that afternoon stimulant. You won't need the handful of M&Ms. It will also help with reducing stress, which increases GABA in the brain and calms it down. I feel like my problems are way far away from me when I take my accelerated keto versus smacking me in the face. And you feel like you can handle what's going on in your life. You're able to relax and get out of that fight or flight state that many people suffer from. When you eat the sugar and carbs, it causes leaky gut, malnutrition. It compromises the production of the relaxing and happy hormones in the gut, which include dopamine and GABA. All you need to do, take 3 to 4 capsules in the morning on an empty stomach, intermittent fast, ride that wave of energy from the hydration, from your electrolytes, not from food. Energy comes from hydration. And then break the fast with wild animal protein to get a bump in your fat burning and stabilization. It also gives you a bump in that glucagon to insulin ratio. So you want to keep carbs out of your diet mostly until later in the day, and you will ride this nice wave of being in ketosis. Great brain energy, great physical and mental energy, and you feel great spiritually. Okay, next, the LifeWave Dream Mist. So this is a spray that you spray on your wrists at night, and it calms your, it's aromatherapy, but also uses the scalar energy that I've talked about that's in the accelerated products, and it's structured water for rapid absorption and delivers these key ingredients that help with sleep. This new health technology heightens the benefits of all natural ingredients. So you feel great, you smell it on your wrist, so you get this nice whiff of something that's going to relax the brain, and it actually works. Then you've got the My Vital C. Now, this, a lot of people are really confused. Is this vitamin C? No. This is a carbon 60, and it's not only one of my top ways to improve sleep, but it improves the quality of sleep. I go into this in depth all over my website. It boosts the immune system, has many anti-aging and anti-inflammatory effects. It's been shown to increase lifespan by 90% in a rat study. And part of lifespan is sleep, because if you get restorative sleep, you're going to live longer. It is increased lifespan by 90% in a rat study. And that is partly due to the improved restorative sleep. Super easy to take, 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons any time of day. Now, some of the patches that I love. So these are the patches, and what I do is the Aloe Vita patch I put on my forehead at night for 12 hours. It's a skin and body regenerative patch that works through the elevation of a peptide to help with wrinkles and skin. But in addition to all that, it induces better sleep. It also increases mental clarity and focus, stimulates that frontal lobe, and pineal gland activation, regulates the hormones. I love it for all of those reasons. Increases oxidation or antioxidants. And so I put up my forehead, and usually around 8 or 9 at night. Yes, my husband and my kids see me with it, but so what? It works. And then what I do is then I take the Eon patch, and I actually will put this on my chin. So it looks funny, but that's one place I'll do it, or I'll put it on the back of my neck. This is an anti-inflammatory patch, anti-stress, happy patch, takes the body from the fight or flight of the day to the rest and digest. And as a result, it helps induce relaxation for better sleep, raises the peptide that's known to be used as an alternative to cancer treatments, which is interesting. But I love it because it balances the brain, calms the brain, reduces cortisol. So it's reducing that stress hormone that causes weight gain. I wear it 7 times a week, so every single day. Some people wear it during the day for the anti-stress effects. I like to wear it at night because it's also helping with my sleep. Next is the X39 patch. I actually wear this during the day. Most people, when they introduce this patch alone, they see an improvement in their sleep. It resets over 4,000 genes to a younger state, repairs collagen, activates stem cell production, encourages apoptosis, which is that awesome thing where there's a destruction of diseased and damaged and cancer cells. The apoptosis is a word that you need to get familiar with, because that helps with longevity and increasing your quality of life. So X39 is a patch that I like to wear either on the back of my neck during the day, or you can do it below your belly button. Next is the Silent Nights patch. Now, this is interesting because this is the sleep patch, but I actually find that it's the patch that took my sleep from an 80 to a 90 or above, but it wasn't the number one patch for sleep. I look to the X39 and the Eon and Aloe Vita before the Silent Night, because there's so many other benefits from the other patches before adding in the Silent Nights. So one place is right here on this side, but the other place that I like to wear it is on my foot, believe it or not, on top of my foot in between my 2 big toes, right here. That's the Silent Night patch. It actually regulates sleep through inducing your body's own melatonin production. I'm not a fan of taking melatonin as a supplement because most supplements have way too much melatonin in them. And then what does your body do? Says, oh, well, I'm getting melatonin from somewhere else. I don't need to produce any. And then it stops producing your melatonin. So I don't like supplements with melatonin. I like to induce your own production. Next is sleep breakthrough. So this is a pre-bed drink, and I actually give it to my girls, my daughters. They love the taste of it. It is designed to maximize sleep efficiency without melatonin. It stimulates the body's natural melatonin production, activates GABA, a neurotransmitter, quiets the monkey mind, maximizes sleep during sleep by stimulating delta, and improves the deep sleep cycles. So it's not just the amount of hours you're sleeping, it's actually working on your deep sleep. The other thing that I like, it's got taurine and it's got melatonin, but the GABA is something that we are seeing that the spike protein is disrupting. So I am recommending people actually to supplement with GABA and with taurine, and sleep breakthrough has both of them. So it's great too because it doesn't cause grogginess like many other sleep supplements that I've tried, and I've spent thousands of dollars on supplements and suffered that grogginess when they don't work, right? And that's not what you want. You want to wake up feeling energized. And with that, if you're not doing magnesium breakthrough, I'd first try magnesium breakthrough before you add in the sleep breakthrough, because you might just need magnesium. Most of us, I'd say 99% of the population is deficient in magnesium. Magnesium is an essential mineral for the body, and it is used for over 600 biochemical reactions in the body. 80% of the population is deficient, but I think it's much higher than that. Magnesium helps induce sleep, reduces stress levels, improves deep sleep, boosts the immune system, helps with normal heart rhythm. So that heart issue that my son was having, or that heart palpitation that might be waking you up, magnesium is a game changer. Magnesium also can help with the calcium deposits that are causing arthritic pain and other joint issues, and the wrong calcium in the wrong places. It can help maneuver those and help get rid of them. Magnesium and calcium play together in the body, right? So you need the right balance of magnesium and calcium. Most people have too much calcium and not enough magnesium. I take this before bedtime. You can take as many pills as you need until you start having very loose stools in the morning. So if you're constipated, which means that you are actually soaking up those toxins that you're trying to get out of your body, you can take magnesium breakthrough to help with your constipation, in addition to helping with your sleep. Next is the accelerated cellular detox powder. People call this the gut superhero because not only is it soaking up all of the toxins from the day, it's soaking up the toxins from your lifetime and carrying them out of your body, taking the burden off your liver and your kidneys, and it is helping with sleep. It helps reduce inflammation, balance the digestive tract, helps with colitis, Crohn's disease, leaky gut, all of those things. But it really, one of the side effects or benefits is it helps improve sleep. So you take just 1 to 3 teaspoons in water or juice before bed. I make my nice bedtime drink. You can put the sleep breakthrough in there as well. You can also put your Wild Lights or your Olaloa in there as your one bedtime drink. Next is the liver flush. And this is why I am telling you, you need 3 to 4 liver flushes a year. If you're waking up at 3 to 4 in the morning, that is your liver showing you signs that it's backed up. And doing a liver flush 3 to 4 times a year helps not only improve sleep, but also improves your metabolism, your fat burning, your thyroid health, because your thyroid hormones convert from T4, which stands for tyrosine and 4 molecules of iodine. That's why we need our iodine, into T3, which is the active thyroid hormone, tyrosine and 3 molecules of iodine. That happens in your liver mostly. So if your liver is backed up with all these gallstones and liver stones, then your body is not breaking down the fat and protein, and it's not getting through to help convert those thyroid hormones. If your doctor says, your thyroid's fine, I don't know why you're gaining all this weight, just stop eating so much, exercise more. Your T4 has to be converted to T3 to be working. Your doctor is probably only measuring TSH, which is thyroid stimulating hormone. That is a pituitary hormone. He's probably maybe doing T4, but he might not be doing all the thyroid hormones to tell you what your free T3 is, your reverse T3. Those are the ones that are important. So the liver flush, really easy to do. It's part of the Ascent Diet Cleanse. Normally, I recommend doing the full Ascent Diet Cleanse because it makes it super easy, and you do see a huge shift in your body, mind, and spirit, physical, mental, energy. You increase your fat burning. You lose the fat weight that you've gained from not sleeping, from the unexplained reasons that we're all experiencing. But you're going to see a shift, especially when you do that liver flush and you see hundreds to thousands of liver stones in the toilet. I've updated my protocol. It's so much easier than before, without discomfort, very easy and fun to do because you actually see results. Next, don't eat before bedtime. We talked about that. Even if you're eating a ketogenic meal, don't eat before bedtime. That's going to possibly irritate your gallbladder by eating too much fat, and it might be difficult to digest. So try to eat within a 4 to 12 hour window period. That with that intermittent fasting, use that accelerated keto for fasting, and then breathe. When you focus on your breath, slow down your breathing in and out. So you're going to bed. It will trigger your parasympathetic nervous system to help you relax. And I recommend counting to 5 as you breathe in, another 5 as you breathe out, and breathe through your nose. That will help settle down your breath. And start with meditation too. Also, sleep on your right side. Why? If you have a fatty liver, which most of you do, and you sleep on your left side, that liver puts weight on your heart, which could increase your heart rate and cause it to keep you awake. So we talked about that pulsing, right? The pulsing in the heart. So sleeping on your left side is going to make that harder. You also want to go to bed by 10:30, and that includes everybody. And why is that? It is because that's the window where then you might end up being wired and tired. You miss this window of going to bed before 10:30, and that you might get another shot of hormones that are going to wake you up, and you miss that window that's natural for the circadian rhythm. Next, eat salt. Salt and sleep are related. Salt is essential to stabilize the blood sugar, support the adrenals, balance your electrolytes. And as I mentioned above, blood sugar and adrenals and electrolytes are all imperative factors for good sleep. So all of these things are connected. We've talked about our mental health, our physical health, our spiritual health, the circadian rhythms of the day, the supplements that are important, the importance of magnesium, the accelerated detox powder, the accelerated salt, the quintessential 0.9, the wild lights, the accelerated keto to stabilize our blood sugar. Remember, most of you are insulin resistant. We need to get rid of the toxicity and the insulin resistance, the two things that are shortening our lifespan and that are causing inflammation and chronic disease and heart disease. All of those things link back to insulin resistance and toxicity. So through the Ascent Diet Cleanse, through the accelerated liver flush kit, and through just that flush, the accelerated detox powder, and adding in the magnesium, all of these things will help with your sleep. Now, one thing that you can also use to address the EMFs that we talked about is the Nuke No More. This is the only supplement that zeroes you out of non-ionizing and ionizing radiation. When you do it, you just do 12 drops right after your first dose of Acceleradine iodine in the morning. That's it. Under your tongue, tastes like water, super easy. So it's going to help calm down your nervous system, get those EMFs out of your body as much as possible, and calm your system down. So we need to address the insulin resistance and the toxicity for your sleep, for your overall well-being, and to start getting things back in a row. Everything is lined up to affect each other. It's a domino effect. When you're eating right, you're taking the right supplements, you're doing the patches, you're doing your sleep protocol, wearing a sleep mask, waking up, looking at the sun for at least 10 to 20 minutes, getting out in nature, taking breaks from your phone, from your computer. All of these things start adding up and get you in line. So thank you for joining me today. Share this with your friends and family. Everybody is having issues with sleep. If I can help you with your health issues, you can contact me directly through the website, sarabantahealth.com. Happy to put together a protocol for you, and join the free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. There is no downside. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health. You will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey, in addition to truly taking control of your health. The protocols and supplements I discuss are all found at sarabantahealth.com. And you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products, and across over 100 channels under Accelerated Health TV and radio show, including YouTube, Stitcher, Pandora, iTunes, or whatever podcast platform you subscribe to. Please hit the subscribe button and share with a few of your friends who may need my help. You tell me who's not sleeping, right? Join us every week, Mondays at 2 p.m. and Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time. You can find the supplements at sarabantahealth.com and use coupon WELCOME10 for 10% off site-wide. Thanks again for joining us here on Accelerated Health TV and radio show. Have a great week.